Under the rapid expansion of city scale and population, high density in urban areas brought great influence to human life because of population, transportation, and environment changes. Taking China, for example, according to data analysis, by 2050, China will add more new city residents than the entire United States population. All in all, after 40 years, it is really hard to imagine that population and urban capacity will be double-sized in the same planet. With the population and the livable area data, the crazy number shows that every 4 days, the planet needs a city that could contain 1 million populations. For those countries with high population, due to constraints as increasing population and a limited livable place, there is no choice but to accept the truth that compact city space and development currently is the only way. If city continues to expand on two-dimensional plans, it causes problems. What will be the living space of individual in the city with high density in the future? Will the living space turn back to a hive when the requirement of housing is increasing? Can architects have the building become more energy efficient by using architectural method and therefore slowing down the resources consumption of the city? A painting named Visionary City from 19th century is the first impression to consider about the form of urban density in the future. In the painting, the common public and urban infrastructures are inserted into different floors of the skyscraper, where major transport routes and overpass bridges are among different buildings at different levels. Therefore, all of them are closely become a three-dimensional architecture and urbanism network. Then, in some fiction movies, the urban future was designed to be a construction community combined with microstructure in three-dimensional space. Huge vertical city seems to be a good way to solve the future urban development with density problem and meet public demands. Taking compact city and its high-density surroundings as precondition, trying to make discussion on some relevant architectural practice and explores the tactics and pattern to cope with the development of high-density urban space in terms of the architectural substance, function, and space, the urban space left over by existing building and the spatial situation among those buildings. Whenever mention high density during urban developing, the public will immediately relate it to problems and attention. If we admit densification of urban development is the tendency of the future, we need to discover the art of living with the density. Learning from one of the 3D city models that named KM3 by MVRDV, the study on how to use datascape to approach the idea of a sustainable developing city with high density and multi-levels. Although KM3 carries with utopian concept and some limitation, but by taking Shenzhen in China as a typical compact city with high density surroundings, using datascape to make it into a real KM3 model. As a result of the productions, it can explore the possibility of development in three-dimensional space to solve the problems that uneven growth bring under high density in the future. There will be a design of an urban complex under high density condition with apartments, public green space, commercial zones, schools, office, and underground parking based on datascape. High-density urban complex developments need to be more communicational with each other and using strict data analysis. For example, strict data analysis could tell you the scale of living and public space, water, and green spaces. Based on strict data analysis, put more mental considerations into the design and made it more comfortable and adjustable.